Hello, friends. Uh, Today's video is more of a question for you. Um, I was watching, I was watching a live stream the other day, and the topic came up of ancestry and people uh, who have, looked up their ancestry, and they were saying, I have like my lineage goes back to like Norse days or whatever, right? And so started thinking about it, and I understand that uh there's companies that you could go through to like research your DNA, like, or you give a sample of your DNA and then they can find out like your nationality or your heritage, and or people do like family trees, and they could trace their bloodline uh, back like centuries or something like that, like to 1700s or 1600s. And I always thought that oh, that's cool that you could do that. I think my aunt, I think I have two aunts that have done that, that have traced our um, or they've done our family tree, and it goes back to like, I think it might go back to like the 1800s. So I thought, oh wow, that's cool, And then I also know, or you know, have have been of the mindset, like, when, I guess because I've seen it in some people that I've known that have like spent time to like trace their line, their bloodline, lineage, or just researching their family history. Um, Part of it's like a journey into finding out yourself. Um, and um, by going through the motions of, like researching your DNA and history and stuff like that, it's kind of like a permission slip for you to go into looking at self, finding out who you are and stuff like that, but maybe not on a deep level, just, or it starts out that way. Um, But my question is because I sat and I thought about it as, the comments are strolling in or coming in, and people were saying like, where they come from and how long their line goes. And I thought, oh, that's cool. But then I had the realization that that's for this lifetime, the one that we're currently in. Um, but what about other lifetimes? So it's not to say like, I understand like you can't, or not can't, but it's possible that you could have been with the same family, and maybe in your last lifetime you were, um, Uncle Bill, great Uncle Billy, who you know did great things, or you are from Spanish royalty, and you know but that's with this body, right? Because if you're a, let's say you're a black person today, a lifetime ago you could have been a white person from Europe, where today you're living in inner city Chicago or whatever, and then the next lifetime I'm gonna be an Asian person living in Singapore. um and your ancestry would change then. So I guess like my question is like, what is our, I don't want to say real ancestry, but like, if we were to take it a step further, like really open it up to the possibilities of outside of this lifetime or even this planet. Um, so I know at the root of all of this, or I shouldn't say I know. I'll say that I am of the belief, I do agree, that we all come from the one source, whether you call it God or Allah or whatever, you know, he who is him or something like that. I do believe we come from one source, or I'm of that mindset. I agree with that. I can go with that. So if we all come from one source, what about after that, right? So then, with the ETs, I don't want to call them aliens because maybe they're not foreign. I think that word alien is kind of like, you know, because it's foreign or they're foreign, but are they really foreign? Seems like they've been around for a very long time, watching over us, helping us, and doing all sorts of stuff. Um, but I started thinking about it like, um, you know, we would have to probably include like the galactic beings in there because we probably have past lives with them, maybe uh, with multiple different um, ET families. Like, I know there's like Arcturian and I can't even think of them now, but I know there's the reptilians and all those other branches of ET families. So I guess my question is, would in the sense that we think of it today on Earth in this lifetime, you know, does our lineage include um, lives or lifetimes with the ETs or with a specific ET race? I think I remember watching or seeing something that Billy Carson talked about, and he said that, not necessarily in the beginning, but a long, long time ago, like millions of years ago, when he was saying like the ETs came down to Earth, and he was saying that the blacks or black people like from Africa and stuff like that, um, they were a specific race of ET. And then I remember him saying that next came Asians. They were a specific race of ETs. And then uh, white people, like from Europe, they were the last to come, and they were another uh, group of ETs. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting because the way things are now, we're all so mixed. Well, in this body, I have like several different nationalities. Um, like my father was black and white, and then my mom is Asian. Um, so in theory, I guess I'm like three different forms of ET. Is that right? Or am I like going down too far with this? I don't know. Um, I do overthink a lot, but it was just interesting when I saw like all of that stuff come up, and the the thing I heard was that's for this lifetime, and then so you know, I started going down the rabbit hole. But what about other lifetimes? You know, um, I guess it's to say, like, some people, another thing that caught my attention in that same live stream, and I think it still follows along with this, is that, certain people have, like, pulls, we'll say, to certain, um, um, well, like, okay, so some people, they, I don't even know how to say it. They have, like, not ties, but they're really drawn to, like, let's say, like, Native American culture. And so that's probably, like, obviously past life or maybe even current life. They are native, their their nationality is, some Native American. And so it resonates with them, right? Um, but I don't know. I was just wondering, like, does that, you know if we could find out, like, where our our ancestry lies, would that show us or be a glimpse into, like, what gives us our pull or draw towards something? So, like, I hope I'm doing, like, an okay job at least of articulating this. um but, like, for instance, some people um are into Reiki, right? And I think Reiki has its roots in, well, I think the person that created it or made it popular or whatever was a Japanese person. And so, like, the people that have this draw to Reiki, is it because that was part of their lineage, or, like, shamanic people or people that are drawn to shamanism? Is it because they were once native, I don't want to say Native Americans, but, like, natives? Um, it just sounds kind of interesting, Native American, because can you be, I mean, it's specific to this area, but I think natives, aren't they, like, uh, bigger than or greater than just America? But anyway, yeah. Uh, yeah, so that was my thoughts. Like, some people are into energy work or frequency work or light light work, sound work. Where do those poles have roots in, like, other ancestries, or, like, ET ancestries? Was it common for specific areas? I just, um I was learning about, like, the pyramids and how they were used in certain times, and then I just learned recently that there's more than the there's more pyramids around the world than just the pyramids in Egypt. And so it's like, other races or groups of people were using pyramids also all over the place. Um, I don't know. Maybe maybe I should stop the video here, because I'm probably just rambling, and, like, none of my thoughts are cohesive or make sense. Um, I try not to. I don't want to. I don't want to be. I don't take notes when I do this. I just like speak I speak from the heart. I speak from my mind, like whatever like thought comes to my head. Um, because I don't want to. It's like I don't know. It's just about like what I think and or what I'm like searching for, and I just don't want to come across as somebody that's like trying to be. Um, man, having a hard time articulating myself. I don't want to say professional, but part of me thinks like, if you prepared and took notes and wrote everything down and read from a script, then these might come across better, but it's not authentic. Like I'm not speaking like from myself. I mean, I guess I could put it on paper, but then I don't know, part of it to me just think feels like it's like it's not authentic for me if I would do it because then, I would change up a word and then it loses kind of its meaning. I guess because, part of me is trying to learn to be comfortable with being vulnerable, you know, um, because I did like hide in the shadows for a while, when, I was afraid of, you know, adding a comment in a live or putting a comment on the video because I didn't want to be judged or because I didn't think what I had to say was good enough or I was afraid of sounding or uh, looking stupid or something like that. But I think like I want to move away from that energy because it does, hold me back from what could be a better version of me. And I think if I have, oh, I know, like when I'm a better version of myself, then a lot of people around me are happier, and it makes for a better experience for everybody, including myself. Um, I don't know. Sorry, that's way off the topic of what is our ancestry. So yes, I should stop the video here. Uh, But that was my question. The purpose of this video was to ask the question, like, what is our ancestry? You know, um, I know we could do the family trees and the DNA searches and stuff like that, but that's well, or is it just for this lifetime when we do stuff like that, or is it really pulling in everything? Like, I don't know. Um, should our ancestry include like other ETs or other lifetimes or and if we find our ancestry, does that explain why we have certain draws to certain things, like modalities of healing or certain interests in like nature or artwork or music, stuff like that. Uh, and so, like I always say, if you could please like put something in the comments. Let me know like what you think or feel or what you've learned or understand so far about uh, all of this. That'd be really helpful. I'd be really appreciative, and maybe this topic is one that other people have thought about, but never put a video to. And then maybe we could all learn together something. But thank you, and see you on the next one.